this whole time.
Hello, everyone. Listen, I am absolutely ridiculously excited today because I am interviewing the one, the only, because there can be only one, Jane M. Powers.
My God, I didn't know you could hear your crowd cheering.
Nice. My name is RJ Redden, everyone. And if you don't know me, I spent 20 years doing marketing technology coaching for small business owners, building websites, social media accounts, doing all of the things to help people get their message heard. But you know that about 2 years ago, I fell in love. I fell in love with messenger marketing. And so today, entrepreneurs hire me to help them get their message heard and quit the crickets, because most of them are shouting into a black hole with their message. They're a carbon copy of everybody else, and they lack engagement on and offline. So I help create a powerful digital message that helps people engage, be visible, and helps their bottom line as well. And I'm today interviewing the person who taught me how to write that and deliver that particular thing that I just did, called an intramercial. This lady is Jane M. Powers, and I don't know if I can explain her. I think you're just going to have to experience her. Hey, Jane, how are you today?
I'm doing fabulous. You know what I love is that when people are out there in the world, whether their bot goes out or they open their mouth at a networking meeting, here's what usually happens. Oh my God, my new loved toy. Okay, for those of you who have not experienced me, I'm Jane Powers. Entrepreneurs, hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority, because most are boring, confusing, and inconsistent. And if I had a snore on here, it would be accurate for the majority of people that are out there in the world delivering their message. So I help them connect, capture, and close their ideal audience. Bottom line, every time you open your mouth, you should be making money, whether it is through a messenger bot or through a stage talk video platform, this type of a format where you are doing a podcast, a show, TV. Boy, that's a big thing coming up, RJ. We're getting on some TV shows. We're going to be famous. But truly, video content and anything you can do online with your message, from a bot to a presentation, is going to make you millions. So I am delighted to be here. As always, you know I adore and love you, and I am just happy to have you with us today. Wait a minute. I'm with you today.
We're together.
You and I.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Well, so everybody, if you've got questions for Jane on getting your messaging right, whether it's that little part where you introduce yourself. Jane did a challenge a while back on, ditch your elevator pitch. Jane, can you tell us a little bit about that challenge and why you chose that topic and how that worked out for people?
So obviously my belief is that we are a society that is moving fast and furious, and nobody listens to anybody because everybody's selling everybody. So we get sick and tired of saying, hey, I have this widget. Hey, I have this thing. Hey, I've got this service. I can help you. We tune out messaging because we've been bombarded. So I feel that an elevator pitch is how, maybe it encompasses why, but it goes over so much information that people tune out. My belief is we're going to get rid of the elevator pitch. Number one, because many times people start by saying, I help. Quite frankly, you sound like a volunteer. So if you say I help, here is one tweak. This will make you millions. I promise you, it has made me millions and others hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions. Whomever hires you, for example, entrepreneurs hire me, corporate executives hire me, parents hire me. When you say hire me, it says you have a viable business. I help says I'm going to help people carry their groceries. I'm going to help them across the street. We're not helping little old ladies across the street. Now, if you do work with little old ladies, you're going to say, little old ladies hire me. And then you're going to move into what you do effectively. So here's what happens with the elevator pitch, RJ. It is boring, confusing, and inconsistent, and it usually is salesy. So I want individuals to be out there saying, whomever hires them, the Ditch Your Pitch Challenge, like rocked it. And I'm going to tell you 2 components. 1, I am amazing. 2, RJ is amazing. Like, that's the only reason any challenge goes. Here's the deal. Oh, look at, I brought my friend to the show today. He's sitting there listening nicely. Honestly, messaging is crucial. That I can't say I came up with messaging. I have a unique way to do the messaging. But the reason it was so, we had 1,500 people opt in, 880, I think 880 on the bot. And we had an inordinate amount of conversions. What we ended up converting with that was probably around 100,000. A 5-day challenge. 5 days. I'm okay with that. I'll do a challenge every 10 days.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But it's because the engagement, I'm telling you, RJ, you and I have been talking about this because we're just like out in the world together doing our work. And what was the percentage? People that actually opted in to my program, a 30-day program, they said, yes, and they've paid, it's part of the event, but they've paid, they don't open their emails. 16% click-through rate. I think the open rate was, I can't remember, RJ, it was maybe 39%.
Yeah.
You guys, do you know what that means? How many people go into the bot? Oh my, I have to go over to ManyChat to find what people are saying because they're not saying it on email. Nobody's talking to me on email. It makes no sense.
Well, and that's the deal. We have listened so long to everybody say, what do they say out there? They say, build your list, build your list, build your list. And then they say, nurture your list. Well, let me say that I think that that's not really possible through email. What people say when they say nurture your list is make sure you have an onboarding sequence that tells people who you are and all about what you do and ask them for a sale at the end of 5 to 7 days.
Yeah.
That's what nurturing your list is about. For me, it's completely different because that is not nurturing, that is sales. I mean,
that's a 7-step perpetrator system, I always call it. It's like, want a piece of candy? Want another piece of candy?
Now take the candy away. Take the candy away.
And then you get them bleeding. Then you get some salt. You put that on the wound. And then you're like, buy my stuff. It's not working. It's not working. And here's what's funny also. People will complain, I didn't get my email. I'm not kidding you. Out of 10 people, they will say, I didn't get my emails. I haven't gotten my emails. Maybe 1 is legit. Out of the rest of them, we go in, we take a look. They've got all their emails. They're not open. They are going into the abyss of email hell. Like, I don't know where they're going. Usually promotions. I don't know. There's a number of different things. But what that tells me is what percentage of your email, like when they do the, here's who's clicked, here's your open rate. How much of that is accurate? Honestly, because if they did see the email, they would open it, but they're not because it's going to email abyss.
The email abyss, my friend. And here is the real email abyss. Here is the shouting into the black hole that I've been talking about and that Jane talks about as well. It's the fact that you have sat down, created that email, put things of value in there, and it's going nowhere. It's just going nowhere.
Yep.
And so having a great message, a honed in message, and what I put on the announcement today was, would you like a message that is so honed in that people are chasing after you and hurling their credit cards at you? Does that sound interesting? The reason that I said that on today's announcement is because I've seen it happen. people actually chase each other and fight each other to hurl credit cards at Jane because of what she can do with your message. It's so crazy because for me, when I'm speaking and stuff, I'm really entertaining, love it. You're my audience, you all know. But I have a little trouble honing down what exactly that thing is that trips people's trigger. What is it that I really do? I'll tell you about the 1,000 little tiny things that I do, and it'll really impress me. But I'll not get to that one big thing that people really want. And it was Jane that listened to what I had to say and said, you need to say this instead during the intromercial, when she taught me how to do an intromercial, and when she taught a billion others how to do their intromercial a few weeks ago when we did the challenge. And people are getting amazing results. Just check the group. People post that stuff every day.
Oh my God, it's crazy. I have so many people going in there saying, this was the best one. I had one gal, she's actually a client now, Cindy, because she's like, oh my God, forget it. I am coming to you for all messaging, for my talk, for my whatever I'm scripting on video. So she said after she went through the challenge, she shared her intromercial and she posted in there after finally somebody came up to her, a friend, and said, oh my gosh, after 7 years, I finally know what you do. 7 years, not 7 meetings, years. That's a very long time to lose money. And so, RJ, let me give, and I don't know if there's questions. If there's questions on, I never know on this streamline yard,
yep,
at the barnyard. I don't know if I can never see comments. So I'm going to talk. If people have anything that they want to say, just let me know. But let me teach a little bit on what the concept of what RJ and I both do. Here's the beautiful thing about RJ and I. Take a quick look. We are actually twins. We are. Like you wouldn't know it. We are twins. Here's why. I am the one out on the platforms. My twin, AKA clone, AKA bot, is delivering the information via messenger. So I can be 2 places at one time. I don't know who else can say that unless they have a bot. So being 2 places at one time is absolutely vital. Here's what's important. So what RJ and I both do in our different platforms, what we do is, let me teach you this. This is the best way you can understand of what we're talking about. You must position yourself. So when you're going into a networking, when you're hitting a video, when you're doing anything, the very first thought in your mind should be, position me. What does that mean? I have to tell you how amazing I am, or you will not listen. So write down 3 amazing things about you. For example, I had a platform when I said my position me segment of my talk, and these are some key components in your messaging. When I hit that, I say I've created 2 multi-million-dollar businesses, a 7-figure coaching business, and I go into some of the percentages, the numbers. You must share numbers. I'm gonna tell you, RJ. Oh, when I hit this industry, and everybody's like, I make 40 bazillion trillion dollars. I thought, God, you're arrogant. Like in corporate America, what happened? If you shared your income, you were fired. Like you couldn't go around going, oh, hey, I'm at a higher level and I make X amount of dollars. No, that was grounds for termination. Grounds for termination as an entrepreneur is you do not share your numbers if you are successful. I mean, you're not going to run around being like, hey, I sold $500 last month. Listen to me. You've got to have numbers that you can take from your past and put them into your business now. Doesn't have to be now. You could have been a buyer and managed multi-million-dollar purchases. What people are hearing is multi-million, and they're thinking, I haven't done that. So pull numbers from your past, pull numbers from the industry. Millions of dollars are made from stage in X amount of time, whatever it is. Pull it from the industry and utilize it. So position me. You've got to say why you're awesome. An intromercial does that in 17.5 seconds. like you heard RJ's, I'm leaning in. I helped her write that. We wrote that together. And I'm like this. Oh my God, I need her. Oh, wait, I have her. That's the brilliance of it. When I say all I have to say is entrepreneurs hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority. People are like, I'm in, because they want to speak and they want to sell. And they don't have the confidence, nor do they have the authority. So even your opener can close deals. And quite frankly, I sold 17.5 seconds, did my infomercial, followed up with a woman, spoke to her for about 15 minutes, and sold a $24,000 program, and then 2 more after that to the same person. So you have to understand it is powerful and is impactful. But any message starts with position me. I'm awesome. The next part is position them. Your audience must know they're in pain. Boring, confusing, and inconsistent. And it took a while for me to say that, RJ, because you know how nice I am.
Yes.
Very nice. But what was happening is people are like, oh, come see me speak. I'm awesome. And then I get there and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I am ready to fall asleep. And I thought you were a copywriter and now you're a book publisher. I have no idea what you do. So I decided I would start articulating very clearly, here's what's happening. And I had people, they're like, oh, I'm not boring, confusing, and inconsistent. Wait till you see me speak. And they're at the meeting and they're speaking. And at the end, and I say this with usually a hug, I'm like, why don't you give me a call tomorrow and we'll get your credit card and we'll get you a talk that's going to sell for you. And they're like, oh, I was boring, wasn't I? And I'm like, oh, I don't say it like that though. Those are the things you need to do. And you have to position what's next for people. You have to position your offer, your call to action. You have to be the superhero. Put your cape on, which RJ always has on for you. You put your cape on, so I help. That's where you get to say, I help. So position me, position them. Nobody's going to move in their seat until they're uncomfortable. Poke the bruise, get them uncomfortable, and then move into the next part. So I help them connect, capture, and close their ideal audience. Bottom line, your bottom line is like, come on, people. This is what I do. Every time you open your mouth, you make money. So, very long answer to your question about the challenge. The challenge was epically successful because people do not articulate clearly so that it sells.
Well, and that's the thing, is that we have such a short amount of time to catch people's attention and to every glowing surface we come across has a message for us somewhere. And we pass all of these things every single day. We filter out. We have blinders on. We have automatic blinders on to anything boring that we don't think concerns us, anything that's salesy. We have blinders on to all of those things. So now, knowing that as an entrepreneur, knowing that I have those blinders on, how do I reach across that gap and intrigue someone into wanting to hear more about me? Your message has to be super engaging, has to be clear, not clever. I always go for clever, and it doesn't always work for me, because sometimes the jokes that I like are jokes that other people don't get. Anyway.
That's the worst thing. That's the worst, is when you're like, oh my God, this is so good. Now, I did have one. This is the only one that is quirky and different. Rob Schultz. I learned this from him. We were chatting one time, and he goes, I used to go to networking, and I would say, I am a zookeeper. How do you say it? I'm a zookeeper. I have you eating out of my hands, and it's not even feeding time. Like, that was interesting. That one, I was like, oh, that is funny. That is funny. And then he'd go into his intro. So it was a great attention getter. That one was good. But anything else, I've heard Quirky, and it all of a sudden, it's like, do you remember that movie? It's an old one. Karina, and the guy would write the commercial jingles. That's what it feels like to me when people try to be like cutesy, and I'm just like, yeah. And here's the other thing. Cutesy doesn't sell. Like, cutesy doesn't let people take you seriously. Like, what I want people to say is, ooh, that's badass. Like, I want people to go, listen to her. Now, there are words within the intromercial that actually trigger the brain to engage. Because and so. Because once I say because, your mind goes, why? When I say so, you go, what? It is a natural response in our brain. Studies have shown that if we hear the word because, we naturally, automatically say why. And you want your ideal client saying why. And then you provide them that information. But I'll tell you, you have seen people, they're like, okay, you've got 60-second commercial to tell us about yourself. And everybody's like this.
Mm-hmm.
They're on their phones and looking like, if it's me, I'm writing a note to the neighbor or I'm texting person next to me. Like, if you can capture my attention, because I am like Ricochet Rabbit, I'm everywhere. If you can capture my attention, I'm in. Then you'll make a ton of dough. And that's what I help people do. How do you capture my attention? Because literally, like at the event, you've seen it, RJ.
Yeah.
I go around and people will be like, here's mine. And I'll go, oh no. But until it captures my attention, they're not getting out of that room. And that's where most people struggle in the industry of entrepreneurship, business ownership. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, I believe you have to have the door opener. The door opener is your intromercial. That is, how do you get their attention? How do you have them lean in and go, yeah, I want to learn more about you? The second thing you must have is the follow-up to that. And in combination, people need to follow up. People are terrible at follow-up, like terrible. That's why, RJ, you and I, as twins, look like, we act like, we talk like, we don't like. I got to get that song. That's going to be a great song when you come on stage.
Theme music. I've needed it forever. Thanks, Jane.
I know.
Yes.
Identical cousins. And thank God I'm not singing, because people, that's as good as it gets. You know, I'd always do singing. I would always sing like, who is it? Katharine Hepburn. Hey, because I can't sing. Anyhow, door opener. The door stop. The door stop to keep that door open is follow up and consistent, authentic selling. And then the door closer is, how do you get them to say yes and give you their credit card? That's like all the vital components. And most people don't have messaging and they don't know how to close the deal. And follow up, if they don't have, in this time and trend in the market, if they do not have a bot, and I am not biased on that, I am living proof that my emails are going, you know, I want the other remote of this.
Yeah.
So that is what I know to be true.
Well, so here's how my journey started with you, and here's what I would love to do with anybody who wants to participate here. I just want to invite you to. I want you to invite you to play along with this, because Jane is so good at honing down what is important and vital about your message, what is interesting about your message, because what's interesting to me may not be what's interesting to you. What I think is sexy and all cooler than, whatever, may be boring to other people. And as a tech person, that happens to me a lot. So is there a way that we can, work with people a little bit on not the entire infomercial, or if we want to get into that, we can. But my road with you really started with that infomercial. I saw you on Aaron Strayer's show. I wrote down the components of the infomercial as you were saying them. I wrote mine as you were on the air, because I had a speaking engagement, like a little let's go talk to a business club that night. And I used it that night. And everybody in that room was like wrapped fascination. I didn't make any sales because I didn't have an offer at that point. I was just educating people about bots. But if I'd have had an offer, money would have exchanged hands, because it was people, instead of Great. I'm here. I'm learning about some other technology that I'm probably going to be forced to adopt. Great. Okay, she's a little cute. All right, whatever. She's funny. Good. That's good. Most people are boring. Instead of that, I had people that were like, tell me more. Like, we went out to dinner to discuss further what was going on. And the next day I was like, I think I have to get hold of that person. And, you know, somebody had asked me Erin had asked me to go to your event with her. And I was like, well, maybe I'll learn something. And I hopped on that. By the way, kids, I do have a link in the first comment. I have a link. Hit that link if you want to find out about Jane's event. It is in a week, and we are going to rock that stage. They're going to call us 3 days later and say, listen, would you replace the roof? Because it's going to blow off at this event. It is going to rocket ship into outer space. It's going to be raining in that ballroom, people, because I'm so excited about this event, Jane. Jane, take it from here. Do you want to work with people? Do you want to talk about the event? Do you want to do both at the same time?
I'm happy to do. I'll do. I'm a juggler. I will juggle every topic at the same time. So no, I'm happy to work with infomercials. Again, you're going to have to convey the message to me because I can never see the chat on this format. But truly, the event. If you are going to opt into the event, do me a favor, make sure you upgrade to VIP. That's really important. We feed you. You will get lunches every day. You also get intense speakers and trainers and myself during the lunch hour coaching you. So do not miss the opportunity to upgrade to VIP. And many people just go, no, I'll find my own lunch. It's a pain in the butt. And you do not get the quality of coaching that you'll get during those times. Also, the event on the page, it says the 16 through 18. For all of RJ's people, we are going to bonus you into the coaching intensive on the 15th, starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So you really want to be there for that. That's where I'm going to be there, a small group. We're going to do a mastermind, and we're going to blow up. Now, here's the deal. We may blow the roof up. We are in the desert. It rains occasionally. It rained yesterday. We may have had our fill. That's my only concern. We may be done with the rain, so it may not be happening for you. But absolutely. And just so you know, when you click on the link, the event is free because it is a $197 fully refundable deposit. We hand you back your check for $197. Unless you upgrade to VIP, then it costs extra, and you don't get any checks back. So don't say, oh, I'm VIP, where's my deposit? It is non-refundable at that point with a little bit extra to cover the cost of food. Do you know at places like this, do you know they charge $65 a plate?
I know, right?
$75. I don't even eat that at a buffet, that much food. It's crazy. All right, let's get started on some infomercial people, if you have some.
So everybody, if you will, excuse me.
Careful.
I know, I'm too excited. I'm breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay. So everybody, if you have any issue with introducing yourself, put for us in the chat, how do you introduce yourself? How do you tell people who you are and what you do and what they can expect out of working with you? It doesn't have to be in the, in the format. We can put it into a format. That's totally fine. Just tell us in the comments if you want some help if you want some laser coaching right now for free, basically. I talk Jane into this all the time. She still loves me for some reason. But for you guys today, let's work on that intro, because we can manufacture messaging all day, you guys. We can create the world's greatest live stream, podcast, blog post, web series, all of that stuff. But if we don't get our foot in that door, if we can't get the door opener, if we can't say within a very short amount of time, if we can't capture that interest, it's crickets again. Would you play the crickets, please?
Oh, happy to. I'm going to get the fart one.
You are going to get the fart one. And you're going to use it on stage, and I'm going to be embarrassed for you, but I'm also going to giggle.
Oh, I won't be embarrassed. I will die. People have no idea. They'll think it's real. And I will, oh my God. Now I can't, now everybody who comes from here is going to know.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not getting one. I'm not doing it.
Oh, no, yes, she is.
I'm an adult. I wear Mickey Mouse t-shirts.
Yeah, that's right, baby. I am also an adult, but my maturity level is much, much lower than mine.
Well, I have an inner adult seeking to emerge. I work on my inner adultism and operate as an outer child. Sometimes I'll do stuff. Denise will look at me and she'll go, "You are a child." I know. All right. So anybody got any other intros in here?
We have got Amy O'Rourke Leahy says, I feel like I've always struggled with how to introduce my small business. Fantastic, darling. Toss that in the chat for us. Tell us, how are you doing it now? And we will give you some well, Jane will. I'm going to sit and drink coffee, but Jane will give you some expert feedback on what's catchy about that, what you could improve, that kind of thing. And everybody else
too. Post it up there so I can see it. That would help also, if you can.
I can. I have so many powers.
I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah. So we have a couple other people who've been throwing that they have trouble with their messaging. So throw it into the comments, throw it into the chat for us, and we'll be able to, Jane will be able to play with it a little bit. Anyway, so gosh, I'm so excited to, well, I'm so excited to be going to your event always, but I get to speak at the event. You're allowing me to have some time on your
Isn't that funny you say I'm allowing you time? No, I am demanding you get on that stage because people are being lost. I'm not kidding you. People are like, well, why doesn't anybody open my emails? Because I'm telling you, they're not getting them. They're not opening them. If they are opening them, unless you attract their attention immediately, you're just lost. I mean, you are lost. So you have to get on that stage because people need to understand they must clone themselves on and offline. And quite frankly, I am an offline specialist. I grew my business. I'm not kidding you. I grew my business to $500,000 in no time offline. I swear I didn't engage in Facebook. I did not have LinkedIn, for goodness sake. I did not even, and I'm going to confess, I did not have a website. People would ask me and I'd be like, oh, it's under construction. All I did, I got on stages. I would speak to sell. My message was, I have a talk that I took my sales experience, combined it with my over 30 years of speaking, put it together into my Speak to Profit formula, which is 7 steps you go through in your talk. As you're presenting it, it moves them to a sale. I'm telling you, you know what happens? I have the 3-day events. Of course I have an offer. If I didn't, I should go get a job. I'd be fired in a moment. Like, if I got a job, I'm telling you, they'd let me go in a second. By the time we get not even halfway through the event, by the first day, people are like, can you do me a favor? Can you just make the offer? Because I just want to buy something from you right now. I'm not kidding you. People know what I do. They know how good I am at it and how I can help them because I've helped them see the errors of their ways. All right, let's help some people.
All right, we got Amy here, and Amy says, so people say, what do you do? And sometimes I say, I sell clothes from my home, which sounds terrible.
Amy, that's so cute. Look at her. She says, I am a nurse. Is that what she does?
Yeah, well, yes, that's what her Facebook profile picture says at this time. So
and she sells clothes.
And you sell clothes from your. So tell us, Amy, give us a few more details about what circumstances
Who does she sell to? Why do they buy? And why should they buy? So, who do you sell to? What is the ultimate outcome if they buy those clothes from you? And what are their pain points? So, because they look frumpy dumpy and lumpy. I don't know, like anything you want. What are the pain points? So pop those in. I'll be able to help you with that.
Perfect. All right. Very good. Yeah. I'm excited about people getting help on this infomercial, because I know how important it is. And with the way that online marketing is these days, I used to help people with all that stuff. And it'd be like, okay, we're going to put a lot of work into this, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And people would say, what can you expect? And I'd be like, well, you can expect some, but with a bot properly done, I can tell them you can expect a lot. But even then, like, there's that first moment when you meet people in person. You've got to have something that gets the lead in. You've got to have something that gathers people's interest. And that's, to me, that's the hardest part. It's absolutely the hardest part. And I had to work through a couple of iterations with Jane before I really landed on, this is what people want.
And I'll tell you, my first one was entrepreneurs hire me to unleash the world-class speaker in them. I like that a lot. But then I got to the bottom where I say, so I help them. Now it's connect, capture, and close. But I help them speak with confidence, sell with authority. And somebody said to me, they're like, oh, you do sales training? And I'm like, oh my God, that's all I do. Like, that's everything that I do. So I took that and put it up to the top. Now, do I teach you to speak like a world-class leader? Absolutely. But more importantly, I'm a pretty good speaker. But I'm going to tell you, I'm a world-class sales person that will sell with authenticity. I mean, I have done corporate speaking. I have done keynotes. I have been paid thousands of dollars. And I'll tell you, it's because I command the stage as a world-class speaker. Like, that's what I was touting. But quite frankly, I got paid in hugs back in the day.
Yeah.
I wasn't making offers. I wasn't asking anybody to buy anything. The more hugs I got, the better I felt. Now, the more hugs I get and credit cards, it's not because I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm making $1 million. It's because I know there's a lot more people out in the world making sense. Because, and here's what I'm going to tell people for the event, people will find every reason why they can't come. Oh, I can't find babysitter. I can't find this. I can't get, the plane timing isn't right. I'm going to tell you, if you're not going to be somewhere that will make you $50,000 to $100,000 or more, you should be at the event. And you can go to 40 million events a week. I can tell you that right now. Why is this one different? Because I teach, and then I make you get up and practice. Everybody walks out with an infomercial. Everybody will have experience coding their buyer. Oh yeah, forgot to tell everybody, I've ripped off every personality profile on the planet, put it into the science of Jane. You're not going to find it at Stanford or Harvard or any NYU study. It is the science of Jane, how to close your buyer. And we're going to teach all of that. But more importantly, you're going to workshop it. You're not going to sit and listen how wonderful I am. I'm not going to give you enough information for you to not know what the hell to do with it. I'm going to say, here's what you do. Now get up. We're going to do it. And then when you're doing it right, I come around to high five you. If you're doing it wrong, I'm going to tell you how to do it right. So we have team members. We've got everybody there for you to make sure that you get, and we cap our event. So it's not like 80,000 people. We cap the event. So I am only one person and my twin, but we are there to suit you and help you do it. And I'm telling you, my Rain Man trick, you throw letters and words at me and I will get you an infomercial. Like, that is my Rain Man trick.
I've seen you do it over and over and over. I've seen you listen to, the kinds of things, the ways that people introduce themselves. And I've seen them come up to the microphone and be super excited about it. And and they'll give it to you and then you're like, and you'll turn around and give it to them in 5 words.
Yeah. I remember Jenny Harkle-Road. You'll use Jenny very well. Jenny got up and she's like, I take people from where they are to where they want to go. She was excited. She thought, oh, I've got this thing nailed. And when I think after she said it, I go, oh. And I usually say, may I have your credit card?
Yeah.
Here's what's important too. The words are important, but the way you show up is vital. Like when you know inside, you're like, I can't wait till it's my turn because I'm going to launch this infomercial. The crowd is going to roar. They are going to turn. And then the next person, inevitably, anybody who does an infomercial, I've seen it with me, with my clients, inevitably the next person goes, I'm not going after that. Like they're like, I am an utter failure. You know, in the holster, in the chamber, you've got your infomercial. What happens? You show up with greater confidence. You show up with an authority that says, yeah, I'm the best in the industry at what I do. But in absence, what happens? We're confused about our own messaging. We go to deliver it. The audience reflects your confidence, your energy, your authority. So if you are weak, the audience is reflecting that through their listening. There's so much that you'll learn. Come to the event. That's all. And truly, I can talk. I'm not kidding you. I say I talk for hours. I will be talking for 3.5 days. That I will show you. And I will cover speaking, sales, infomercial, networking, how to get the crap out of your head. I was a mindset expert for many, many years prior to a business coach. And you got to get the stuff out of your head in order to get the right words out of your mouth.
And that's just the absolute truth. Getting those right words out at the right time to the right people can make a huge difference in your business, into how the rest of your message is, even if it's even ever consumed or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get to these in the chat here. Amy says, I sell, so this is Amy. She has since left for school pickup, but she's going to watch this later. I sell mostly to other women. I have an easier time with the kids' clothes because I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable.
Interesting. I wish Amy was on here to find out what's uncomfortable. Like, because, and I'm not real clear on what Amy does, but here's what I can say. I've had individuals that are either image consultants, or they sell LuLaRoe, or some of the other wonderful clotheslines out there. If you are selling a product, it is the exact same approach to selling a service. Now, I quite frankly, some people say, oh my gosh, selling a service is way more difficult than selling a product. Either one, you still have to capture their attention. Now, if people are dressing, to cover up, like me, before I did my image consultant, image makeover, I was covering up sweat, jiggly parts, mostly my love handles, and I just didn't know. So, maybe Amy is helping individuals pick out clothes according to the level of success they want. Maybe it's taking an approach more of your clothes speak volumes for your desire. Your clothes speak volumes for your experience and success. Are you not getting promoted because you are not dressing the part? So it's truly having, maybe the clothes capture the essence of who you are. There's so many different ways to approach that. And it's really understanding. So what if, and I don't know, let's pretend clothes brand XYZ is all about comfort. And XYZ, you have 2,050 million XYZ reps out there, and they're all saying, we thrive on comfort. Well, it becomes numb to the buyer. So you've got to find what makes you stand out, what makes you different from, like, we just worked with a photographer. A photographer, again, pictures. But what is it? Bringing out the bold essence of your message through photography, bringing out or connection through photography. You've got to find what is that unique selling component that you have in your client. What is your client looking for? So that's really important. I think Amy, not having her to be able to converse with more, it's really about what are my clients looking for? Well, they're not just looking for clothes, or they would go to the mall. There's something unique about the clothes that she is selling that will connect with, like, what's the other one? I love their clothes, but they're very expensive. Oh, I can't think of it. It's Denise would know it. Anyhow, the clothesline is very expensive. Now, I will shop at Nordstrom's. Talk about expensive. But I won't order this clothesline online. Because what if it doesn't fit? I don't want the hassle. So if it's hassle-free designer name brands, that might be appealing. You've got to find the unique selling value. What is it going to make me lean in and go, you're going to bring it to me? Oh my God. If somebody, I've not found anyone who does that clothesline. Darn it. What's the name of it? I haven't found anybody that'll say, I will bring the clothes to you. If they said that to me, I'd be in.
Yeah.
That if you're selling clothes, bring them to the person. Because you know what happened when I did my makeover? We went to Nordstrom's. They filled a dressing room with me. Oh, I felt like a princess. I felt like $1 million. And guess what I spent?
What?
$1 million.
Yeah, there you go.
Because the experience was amazing. Just imagine anything you do. People are lazy. We're all lazy. We're all busy. You're going to say, I'll bring it to you. I have a printer. I just found a new printer. He is 2.5 hours away. And I met him here in Phoenix. I said, yeah, you're just so far away. He goes, that's all right. We bring it to you. Now, first I'm thinking that seems like a waste of time. But the city he's in is this big. So nobody's there. So once a week, he comes up here and delivers thousands of dollars in printing. He said, I will bring it to your doorstep. All right, then. Like, I'm lazy. I want people to cater to me. Amazon. That's why we all go Prime.
Yeah.
I got this today. We ordered it yesterday, didn't we, RJ, when we were hanging out? We ordered it yesterday. I couldn't figure. I thought it was my birthday present. I was shaking the bag and I hit one of the buttons and I'm like, oh. I digress.
All right, we got another one in there.
All right, go.
All right, we got Alan Curtis, my friend Alan.
Alan has 2 first names. I love that.
Yeah. If you have time for some feedback, I lead entrepreneurs to achieve more joy and fulfillment through awakening and unlocking their full potential through hypnosis and coaching.
Okay, entrepreneurs hire me to have a hypnotic life because most are asleep. And then pain, whatever the other pain points are. So I help them unlock, really fabulous word, unlock. Now, Alan, if they unlock their full potential, what does that mean? If I'm unlocking my full potential, do I make more money? Do I have more freedom? Do I sell 8,000, whatever it is? I need to understand when I unlock my full potential, because the average listener, we have no idea what my full potential even is. So if I could unlock my full potential to create a business that is sustainable, scalable, and saleable, or unlock my full potential to be the best mother on the planet to, craft a world leader, whatever it is, you've got to find what is unlocking the full potential, but totally go with entrepreneurs hire me to have a hypnotic business or life, whichever one you sell. Right there, you're telling them how to do it through hypnosis and coaching. We don't care. What we want to know is what's in it for me. Don't tell me if you're going to say, Jane, you are going to be a millionaire in 1 week. Don't tell me how, just get me doing it. Doesn't matter. I don't care about, well, first we're going to check. No, I don't want the details. So what you're doing, instead of saying through hypnosis and coaching, you're saying entrepreneurs to hire me, and you're taking the hypnosis, putting it in the front so people go, oh, I know that guy. He's the hypnosis guy. But you're not telling them how you do it. You're giving them that attractive opening statement that people are like, a hypnotic life. First, they're going to go, what? And then you go into the pain points. Because please always have the word because in there. People will go, why? Say most. So you're not saying, because you all are dummies. Like, that's offensive. So, because most are dummies, doesn't that sound nicer? It's really polite. It's a better way to say it.
I think that one of the biggest things that you've taught me is that people don't care. People don't care how you're going to deliver a service. People don't care about those details until you get the lean in.
And until they get ready to buy, because once they say yes, now we've got our coding system, right? Catalyst, we do not, it's a core code. So I'm going to go over really briefly. You'll learn it all when you come to the event. Core code, C-O-R-E. The C is a catalyst. Don't give Catalyst the details. Do not. We're going to go through 7 steps. Step 1, you've lost them. Optimizers, those are the people that want all the steps. They want the details. They want the budget. They want to understand everything. They want formulas, strategies, structures. Relators, they want support, community, guidance, all heart-centered, focused. Experts, get to the point. The point better be valid. It better be credible, and you must have authority. So, yes, RJ, once they lean in, once you show them you're the solution and they're saying, I want to buy what you have to know who you're speaking to, then to move them into saying yes. But yeah, nobody cares about how. Like, nobody, not one person, even an optimizer, has said, can you walk me through every step of your talk formula? What they know, I'm going to write your talk for you. I'm going to write your intromercial for you. Therefore, you don't have to care about it. I'll give it to you. You'll have the whole thing, but you're going to have your talk. So you're exactly right. I don't care about the technology behind a bot. I honestly don't. All I know is Empower Bot shows up, tells me where I should be, tells me why I should engage. I say, yes, I love you. Boom. Then we go to the next phase.
It's true. I mean, and as a technical person, and I am one of those people that I will overshare how to do things, what's going on, all of that stuff. I want to overshare the details. And what you've taught me to do is, no, people care about this right here. You need to follow with this right here and cut out all this other stuff. And I will say this, and I have said this to you, occasionally doubted that would work. I have occasionally been like, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not exactly non-experienced speaker here, but I will tell you that getting the formula to get that lean in is the foundation stone upon which all of other relationships start. And it is so important to be tuned in to what do people want to hear. And then one thing I want to cover deeply, because you're going to cover this at the event, and frankly, this is also amazing, and I want people to know about it. You're going to cover how to overcome objections.
Oh, yeah. That's the best part. I love that.
I hate objections. They make me feel like maybe my process isn't right, or my product isn't right, or it makes me go, okay, maybe I really don't know what I'm talking about. That is actually the wrong response to an objection, my friends. Take notes. But last time we did this event in September, you had people, it was like a stump me game, stump the Jane. You had people come up to the mic and give you objection after objection after objection. And you would help them figure out how to answer that objection. It was nothing short of amazing. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I'm not having, sorry, I don't know why that's happening. I don't like sales. I've been doing it over 30 years. And I don't like sales. I'm not kidding you. I'm telling you, my first cold calls, I'd go in, they'd say no, and I'd cry. I literally would cry. It was early 30s, and I'd be like, okay. I took it personally. It was all about me. Something was wrong. And then when I started selling myself, I could sell anybody else. anybody else. I could sell anybody else's service products. I'm telling you, I could sell anything. Then when I started selling me, I have this, many people have grown up in a family like mine, tad bit complicated. So we got messages that told us we weren't enough. We were too dumb, too fat, too stupid, too whatever. And we have that runs in the background. So when I started selling my own stuff, I was like, oh my God, I am not worthy. I am not worthy. And objections would make me cry. And I started to understand, okay, it's never about me. Unless someone says, I don't like you, then it becomes about me, or I hate your program. I've been doing this 11 years. I've never had someone say, I hate your program. Never. I've never had someone say, I don't like you. The majority of the time, they say, I don't have the money. So for me, what I was able to do was understand objections are the first step in my coaching process. If someone gives me objections, what they're really saying is, I don't believe in me. I don't believe I'm worthy. I don't think my product is enough. I don't know what direction to go. I don't know if I'm going to make this happen. I've hired a million other coaches and it never worked for me. And what I understand is that's my first point of proving that I know how to get you out of any jam that you are in. And what I do is have conversations that are the excuse behind the excuse. The excuse sounds great. Well, I don't have the money. That sounds wonderful. And it's believable by most people. What I say is that a good reason or the real reason? More than not, I find the real reason is I have invested too many times and I don't think it's going to work. And then I go, well, let's talk about that, because whether you're a yes or a no, we've got to figure out how to get you moving in your business. But I can tell you based on your answer why you are stagnant in your business. For me, so I grew up, I played every sport possible so I can get out of the house. And sports were the best way to do it. Otherwise, I was going to be out doing drugs. And I decided I wasn't going to go that avenue. So I got on every sports team. I happened to be the #1 home run hitter on my softball team in high school. I was all conference. Every pitch that came, it was just like slow and up the middle. Every pitch felt like it just had my name on it. So when objections come my way from the audience, I'm just seeing myself standing there ready to hit it. It's slow and up the middle. Like it can't be more obvious. But what's happening, I remember when I went and was playing at college, it was a little different. The pitches, I mean, don't get me wrong, the pitch would come in really fast. When I went to college, it was like 10 times the speed. And I'd stand there and I'd be like, are you going to pitch it? And it'd already be in the catcher's mitt. And I'd be like, well, son of a gun. Here's what I know. And it took the timing. It took me pacing my hitter again. What happens for individuals that are standing at the mic, I am pitching that thing like it's a baseball, like pro level baseball. And it is so fast that if I can help them with their timing, help them with the cadence of when they are to swing, that's when people overcome objections. But most of the time, they're standing there and it's gone by already. And they're like, oh. So it is a matter of understanding what is truly behind the objections and having some really, really cool lines to use, which I give you all my scripting. I'll tell you everything, say everything. And that's what helps people stand there and go, oh, I've heard this one. And I have a lot of people that are like, what would Jane say? What would Jane say? And then they put it in their words. And I have clients that I'm telling you, they go through the training, the sales. We do role playing, we do training. They are closing. I'm not kidding. They've gone from 0 to literally 50 and 60,000 within months, and they were making no money. And like Jenny has tripled her business just with a different way to approach objections.
And Jenny's amazing. For those of you who don't know Jenny Harkleroad, she's an amazing person. She helps people reprogram their subconscious, and that's not an easy thing for people to even conceptualize, much less act on. But you've taught her how to communicate the value of that so much that she's tripled her business this year.
And then she did it again. Like she doubled what she tripled. But RJ, it was the same with you. I saw RJ. I'm gonna tell you, I met RJ, came from Erin's show to her show, and went, okay, you're not only coming to my event, I am putting you on stage. And she's like, okay, because RJ, she's just like, okay. I said, I'll ask you questions, you just answer them. Oh, and I said, I'm going to promise you, I am going to shoot you out of a cannon. RJ at that event shared in a way, because I helped to navigate the conversation because she had not been on stage in that format. And she landed one of her biggest clients at that event, one of her biggest clients. And I think then another 6 or 7 or 8. And so what happens is people don't quite understand their own value and how to communicate that value. And when RJ, now that's all you do. And people are, I go to events and I keep thinking, I'm just going to get a cape. It's probably the cape. It is so important that you are communicating and building relationships. And so I'm not about sales. I'm not about speaking at someone from stage. I am about understanding who is listening, who is buying, who do I want to work with, and I provide them the value through my messaging. RJ does the exact same thing online. So we are just 2 peas in a pod.
We're 2 peas in a pod, and these peas have taken over an hour of your time. So, folks, the value of this event is pretty extreme. This will be my second time. The first time blew my mind. It was a fire hose of information. Any little bit of it I could take and put in my business, actionable stuff, and start to improve my business. I've been on a trajectory since that first event that has blown my business into something that I don't even recognize. And it's because I took this lady's advice. Let's see, which way is it? That way. No, it's this
other one.
Thank you. I'm a scarecrow over here. It's because I trusted her when she said, you need to come to my event and you need to sponsor. I said, you're insane. And she said, yes, but you still need to come to the event and sponsor the event. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. Something made me think this is a trustable human being. And now we're going places we've never gone before. I've never gone before. Jane's probably been there. But I hope, I asked her on because it's my hope that you can use Jane to that effect as well, because this event is extremely valuable. Remember, if you have a regular attendee, you'll get a check back at the door for the price of the event. If you upgrade to VIP, you won't get a check back at the door, but you will get extra coaching and instruction. You will get free food at lunch, which is fantastic, by the way, and you'll get all kinds of little perks. I know those are coming too. All kinds of little perks that are being on offer. So do click on over, consider it, and I love to bring you people that I know are going to be of value to you, that I know are going to take care of you and help you hit new heights. Nobody more than Jane. Nobody more than Jane. So,
what's really important is I think entrepreneurs need to roll the dice on themselves. And I believe that at this event, we play with loaded dice. There's no way you can go wrong, because you're going to get the value you need. You're going to get the experience of implementing what we're teaching you. And if you think that I'll be any different, like, some people you'll see on a podcast or and they're like, oh, and then you see them elsewhere and you're like, that doesn't seem like the same person. Here's the deal. What you see is what you get. I give value. I give as much as I can, because what I know, without a system and structure of support, none of us can do this alone. None of us can do this alone. So for the flight, for the cost of the flight, for the refundable deposit, unless you upgrade to VIP, which I highly recommend, you can get an Airbnb. You can get, the hotel has a great rate. What I say is pull the trigger, roll the dice on yourself, and if this doesn't work for you, I'm going to tell you, you come and talk to one of the team members and go, I don't think this is working for me, because I know what's going to happen. By halfway through the first day, you're going to want to I had a guy one time, he came over to me and he took the $197, that refundable deposit, and he put a big heart on it and handed it to me. And he said, please just void that out, because this is worth way more than the $197. And I don't feel right taking as much value out of this room as you have given. So,
well, and I'll go you one more. If one of you come to the event, I will give you time of mind at the event, because I'm going to be there. I'm going to be speaking. I will sit and talk you through what needs to be your very first strategy in your bot.
Well, I'll take it. Oh,
there you
I already get that.
You are so fabulous. I will sit down with you at the event. We will structure what that first bot needs to be. I'll ask you a bunch of questions that are none of my business. I will help you structure it out. But that's how strongly I feel about going to this event, that I will give you my time as a free gift. Hit that link. You won't regret it, peeps, because I certainly have not. It's been one of the best things that's ever happened to me in business. So Jane, we must go, because you probably have, I don't know, an event to coordinate.
That's sort of
something. So we're going to roll.
We filled our bubbles, though.
Yeah. You filled your bubbles.
We filled our bubbles +1.
So,
I don't know if people do planning. I learned that from Suzanne Evans years and years ago. I started out with 0 filled bubbles, cried my way. Now we got all the bubbles filled, plus and some. So we've got some great people come to the event, including your fearless leader, RJ. Wait.
Thank you for coming on today, Jane.
All right, everybody. We'll see you at the event. RJ, as always, love you dearly.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.